day is done and the house settles in, there's only one thing left to do. Pull up a chair, dim the glow, and welcome the dark. You are now tuned into the quiet sound of It Reads at Night.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the It Reads at Night podcast. We are very excited to be here. This is our first ever episode ever. My name is Austin, and I'm honored to be one of your hosts tonight, joined by
Alex. I'm your co-host.
No, you're a host.
We're both hosts?
We're both hosts.
We're both co-hosts.
We're both co-hosts.
We equal one host.
You put two co-hosts together, you get one.
You get one host.
Anyway, let's see. First episode, shaking all the nerves out. We're gonna do a brief little introduction about what we're doing here. So, we're joined here on this spooky night with this golden campfire lit before us. And we come here tonight to read you a story, okay? So we live in a time where there's this huge online community of people, whether it be Reddit or creepypasta.com or anything else, I don't know, Wattpad.
No, probably not.
No, probably not. Not
maybe not. I don't know. Maybe.
Anyway, there's a huge community though of horror writers and people that just like to write creepy stories and whatever. So we're very lucky. We live in this little perfect time where we can digest these for free. People don't ask anything of anyone most of the time. You just get to read their stories, and I think it's really cool. And to show our appreciation to these amazing writers across the internet, we would like to contribute to the circulation of this community and just read you some spooky stories around this campfire. Well, tonight we're going to be reading a very spooky story, so I've been told, titled, "The People Upstairs Won't Stop Singing Happy Birthday. It's Been 5 Hours." Very gripping title right there.
Super excited.
And I have some credits. So this story was written by username is EmmaWatsonButDumber, who we actually, I think we know of.
Yeah, we definitely know of.
We have heard of a story of hers. I think it got pretty popular. What's the exact name of it? I'm blind and I'm not sure how many steps are in my staircase.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's it. I love that story.
Yeah, that story is really creepy. I highly recommend you go listen to that. We're going to read something else from her. This was doing well on r/nosleep, and we wanted to give it a little read here. So before we get into anything else, I want to plug her a little bit. Her name's Emma WatsonButDumber on Reddit, but you can also find her on buymeacoffee.com.
Nice.
Her name, I think her real name, or maybe just her pen name or whatever, is Helena Castellan. And so whenever she seems to write a lot and be pretty active, so go ahead and buy her a coffee, read her stories. I think if I remember rightly, she's the one where she's got this cool thing where if you do the buy coffee thing, you actually unlock stories that you can't read anywhere else. So I think that's a cool concept.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty neat stuff. But you and me have actually not read this story.
No, we have not.
We like to go in blind. That's our whole thing here. So we've had someone who helps us on this show.
We have, even though it's our first episode, we already have an editor.
Yes.
And he tells us what to read.
He tells us what to read. He's
very strong-willed. And he decides what we read.
Yes, the editor is he's got a lot of opinions, and he said this story was good and that we would like this, and we've got it printed out here tonight, and we want to do it some justice. We want to be primed. We're primed right now to be spooked. All right, we're not just gonna read this, in our bedrooms or our places we feel comfortable. We are out here in the elements right now. It's pretty cold.
It is cold.
Yeah, my hands are like kind of stiff. It's an early winter vibe, we're two southern boys, so
yes, sir.
We got to get climatized to this.
Yes, sir.
The winter's just starting. We've just started this show. It's actually Hallows Eve right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And we're going to read this freaking tune.
Yeah.
We're going to read it, and we've got a full real forest behind us.
Yep.
And we got a campfire going, and it's going to be scary. We heard an owl right before we started, so there's things in the forest that we can't see.
And I can attest, I've lived here most of my life where we're filming this, and I hear strange stuff coming from this forest. Yeah, I hear men and women.
Women.
And other strange things, men and women.
Just going at it.
No, but for real though, I've heard some things I cannot explain in this forest. And that's not me just being clickbaity or whatever. It used to happen when I used to come home at like 3 a.m. all the time. I would hear this weird like shrieking sound. And I know any outdoorsman or whatever is going to be like, oh, it's a fox, oh, it's an owl. I don't know. Well, I don't know that, okay? So it's creepy. All right, we're primed to get spooked. We're primed to get spooked here. Before we dive in for real, right? I just want to ask you, maybe leave a little like, comment, subscribe, rate this. It's on the audio platforms as well. It's the only thing we can ask of you at this very moment. We'll let you settle in, get to know us and all that. But if you like what you're seeing, like this campfire vibe or whatever, just do one of those things, and that's all you got to do. All right. So, without further ado.
Prepare for scares. Enjoy the story if you dare.
The people upstairs won't stop singing Happy Birthday. It's been 5 hours. I don't usually work on Sundays, but I needed some extra cash, so I took an early shift. I came home around 2 p.m. I live in this apartment building. My apartment is on the first floor, along with another one that belongs to this dude who's rarely home. There's Mrs. Rogue's place on the ground floor, and then the second floor has 2 other flats. One owned by an elderly couple, and the other by this family I don't really see that often, directly above me. Sometimes I hear the kids in the morning moaning about having to get ready for school, and then stomping down the stairs. Sometimes I hear hushed voices and dishes clattering. After 10 p.m., everything usually goes quiet. I got to my door, and as I was searching for my keys in my bag, I could hear voices upstairs. They were hushed and a little tense, stressing the words and mixing them together. I couldn't really make out what they were saying, but they seemed to be talking about something really important. Now, keep in mind that I've never seen these people before. I assumed they were a family because I kept hearing the kids and sounds that I generally attribute to a family home. It's not like I personally met them, I just assumed. Anyway, as I said, I finally got a hold of my keys and unlocked the door. Yet, I didn't immediately step inside after I opened it. I don't know why I let it swing open and remain there listening for 2 more seconds. But I'm somewhat glad I did. The moment the door was heard, the voices upstairs stopped completely, as if they were listening to me now. I remained still. We all studied the silence for a while. I heard a singular step on the stairs above. That's when my back went cold and my muscles tensed up for whatever reason. I got the sudden urge to just go inside and shut the door behind me, which I did. Afterwards, I started putting some groceries in the fridge and doing some errands around the house. Faintly at first, then stronger. I started hearing this birthday song upstairs. I smiled and sighed. They were planning the birthday, man. That's why they were so precautious, so nervous. It sounded like there were around 5 to 6 people singing, maybe. Happy birthday, dear Jonah. That was cute. When they finished, they started again. I did find it weird, but I assumed that the kid had asked for it again. Kids love blowing out candles and whatever. It was an awfully long song. It kept looping until reaching its conclusion, just like the first time. It had a lot of unnecessary runs and filler and extra lyrics. When they finished, a little pause followed. Then they started again in the exact same way. Fucking weird family, I thought. And by that time, I'd gotten annoyed. So I just put on my headphones and laid on the couch. I fell asleep at around 4 or 5 p.m. I woke up from the nap disoriented. Man, after work naps hit the hardest. I'd slept until around 8 p.m. and the sun was peeking at me from behind some buildings. A sunset that was more blue than red. A melancholy and confusion that reminded me of how liminal your house felt when you would go to sleep after school and wake up with a sore throat and a huge pillow mark on your face, with your mood ruined, your mother suddenly calling you out to go to dinner. I swallowed, staring blankly at the window, highlighted in gold and rum. I rubbed my eyes, then massaged my face. I stood up to get a glass of water, walked barefoot to the kitchen, which was now sunken in that specific 8 p.m. darkness, and stood still and silent, not knowing what I wanted from my life. Then I finally registered one important detail. The folks upstairs were still singing Happy Birthday. I listened for a while, unsure of what my reaction should be. I wondered if they had some recording playing on a loop. That wasn't really the case, as each version sounded different from the previous. They really were weird, or maybe their kid was just eccentric. Maybe they were practicing for some performance. I started thinking. As I said, I hadn't personally met these people before, so I had no idea what they did. Maybe they were really practicing. I put my headphones on and went on trying to make some sort of dinner, even though I wasn't really hungry and my throat still hurt. I ate, watched my show, and took a shower. Their singing had started to piss me off. It was now approaching 10 p.m. I felt the need to go upstairs and tell them to quit it. I'm not confrontational. I really don't like telling people they upset me. And most don't have an appropriate reaction at all. I didn't want to talk to them, so I called my mom. I started telling her about my day, but she interrupted me, asking about the people upstairs.
Yeah. They've been doing it for hours. I don't know. It's really starting to get on my nerves.
Well, go up to them and knock. Aren't the other residents annoyed? The old people upstairs? I'm sure they wanted to sleep by now.
Maybe I could just put on music. That could cover it up.
But do you want to listen to music?
No, not really.
Then why do it to please them? Go upstairs, Michaela. I sighed and reluctantly agreed. After hanging up, I put on a sweater and unlocked my front door. The moment I opened it, the air felt a little colder. I stared at the dark hallway, illuminated by the ray of light from my door and another faint light coming from upstairs. I went up the stairs. The second floor was more animated than the first. The door to the family's apartment was slightly open, and I could see light and movement behind. I slowly approached it, then peeked inside. I could see a hallway with balloons and confetti peacefully floating around. A faint smell of candles and sweetness lingered out. I didn't want to disturb too much, so I tried to be discreet while I quietly and almost imperceptibly pushed the door slightly more. The small hallway made way to a dining room. The shadows were dancing on the walls as people clapped around the table and sang. On the table was a cake with pink and purple frosting, sprinkles, and some writing I couldn't really decipher. The song carried on, but was hoarser than I'd remembered it. People were smiling, swaying from side to side, at the person sitting in front of the cake. The lighting was dim and pleasant, its only source being the candles. The people around were a little tense, but overall, it reminded me of my own birthdays as a kid. Some boxes lay scattered on the floor. I tried to take a better look at them, or the kid. The child looked like a young boy with a big birthday hat on. He, I think, could have been 10 or 12, and his face was round and stretched into a big smile. I stared for a while at the teeth. I don't know what prompted me to make that observation, but he had adult teeth, which were rotten and yellow, sticking out of his mouth in abnormal directions. His eyes were wide and red, as if he'd been crying for a while. I don't remember seeing him blink at all in the minutes that I watched that felt like hours. He looked really shaken and tense. I'd never seen a child like that before. Never in my life. All the courage I'd had before peeking through the door had evaporated. I must have zoned out, watching the scene, when I was pulled away from my trance. The kid shifted his eyes from the candles, which had now almost completely melted, and looked straight at me. I felt seen like I'd never been seen before. My heart completely collapsed, leaving a painful knot in my chest as I made eye contact with the child. His smile slowly faded, turning into a grimace. I wanted to run, but I was somehow frozen in place. Suddenly, he blew out the candles, and the room was engulfed in darkness. I heard something shuffle in the dark towards me, gasped and shut the door behind me as I practically jumped down the stairs. The shuffling and scratching followed. I gripped the door and slammed it behind me, just as something slammed into it from the other side. Eyes wide and unfocused, I barely managed to lock it as the banging started. The song upstairs had stopped. I looked through the peephole. The hallway was completely dark now, but I could make out the details of the face I'd looked at before in the dimly lit dining room. Only now we were at eye level, which was impossible since that had been a kid. Had it? Or had it been just a person? The more I thought, the more I realized I had no idea what prompted me to assume it had been a kid. The round face? Childish clothing? Trying to decipher the memory meant analyzing every detail of that horrible face, a thing I didn't want to do. The banging turned to scratching. I yelled I was going to call the police. My voice died in my throat. The banging was so strong that it was undoubtedly going to break down my door. Suddenly, I heard a distinct sound upstairs. The banging and scratching instantly stopped. It was a door opening. The elderly couple's door.
Hey! What on earth are you doing? It's the middle of the night!
I watched through the peephole as the kid, not a kid, walked away from my door upstairs.
Quit it before I call the police! It's enough that I have to hear your kids' tantrums every day, lady, but...
Voice abruptly stopped. I listened, barely breathing. No scream, no sound. Nothing. Faint scratching, then shuffling, then a faint cry that sounded more like forced sobs. I silently dialed up the police and barely managed to whisper what was going on, afraid that I might be heard. As I was detailing the problem, I looked through the peephole once again to be greeted by that face, grimaced, eyes bloodshot and sunken into the head.
You're welcome to join next year. That's why we left the door open.
Came the voice of an adult, out of the face of a 12-year-old. I gasped and ducked, as if that would save me. The police came in around half an hour, which was an insanely long amount of time. They went upstairs and sealed off the entirety of the second floor. They refused to give me details. I had to wait for the headlines and accept some vague answers from the numerous phone calls I'd given since.
Miss, there were never kids living upstairs. 2 of them were grown-ups. But 2 of them were pretending to be kids.
They refused to tell me what had happened to the elderly couple. They barely mumbled something that included kidnapping, massacre, disembowelment. Some of the victims, which had been many, were hostages. made to play along. The presents were just pieces of flesh, toys made of bones with bows on them. One of them was a teeth necklace. I'm going through a really hard time now, trying to move all my stuff without having to go to that place too often. I can't sell it or rent it out, maybe to some true crime fanatic. I moved in with my parents, but I asked them to add extra locks to their doors and windows and security cameras everywhere. They assumed I was paranoid and suffering from PTSD. I let them believe that. However, I'd watched the security footage of that night, showing the outside of my door. The birthday boy I'd spoken to hadn't gone back upstairs. He just crawled to the window and jumped out. I don't know where he is now. I hope it goes both ways. The end.
Yes.
That was, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
The people upstairs won't stop singing Happy Birthday.
It's been 5 hours.
We'll be right back. Wow, would you look at that view? Welcome to Jarvis. I want to tell you about our fine beach. Let's wake up. Look at that. God. Welcome to Jarvis. Okay. Wow. I want to tell you about the Darwin cheeseburger. Maybe later I'll tell you about our chicken nuggets. But for now, welcome to Jarvis.
So, yeah. That was the story. What do we think?
I definitely liked it,
Yeah.
but I think that some of her other stories are a little bit better, but this one also is just short and to the point. And sometimes authors, and when you're writing, you just want to just fucking get an idea out and leave it alone.
Yeah.
So
That's what I kind of feel like this one was. More just like a vignette kind of story, you know?
yeah,
A little quick and easy. Did you like anything about it?
I definitely did.
What'd you like about
What did you like, Buster?
What'd you like about it?
I like the concepts. I gotta put my fucking mouth on the mic. I like the concepts a lot in this, but I feel like I wanted to see them more, like each concept more drawn out.
Yeah.
Like each paragraph could have been like 2 or 3.
Sure. I feel that way too. The initial idea of like a group of people singing happy birthday over and over and over and over, and it's like your upstairs neighbors, is really like a creepy concept.
Well, it's fucking infuriating.
It's mainly it's like maddening. I want to go upstairs and beat them to death.
Yeah. Super fucking infuriating. But then this is what I thought was cool. Something about them, it's like, but they're still singing happy birthday, but it's more hoarse than I remember. And it's like their fucking throats are like shredding because they've been doing it for so long. I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I like that part too. I liked the how their voices were degrading over time like that, and just showing like how the effect of them singing for that long and what would happen to your voice in that time. And that part was cool. I do think the concept's creepy on its own.
Yeah.
Not sure I was the biggest fan of the ending.
Just seemed a little rushed.
It was a little rushed, yeah. I think it's not too bad though. I mean, it wasn't offensive.
No, it's definitely fine.
Yeah.
Suddenly, he blew out the candles, and the room was engulfed in darkness. That was scary. That was fucking.
That is a pretty cool scare. I don't think I could truly appreciate it because I was probably ingesting smoke a lot in my eyes. But yeah, that was cool how he blew out the candles, and then you're blind.
I gripped the door handle and slammed it behind me, just as something slammed into it from the other side. Something slammed into me from the other side. Yeah. No, but that's awesome. I mean, that was super cool.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see. I like that part. Like that. I mean, it's just like one page.
Yeah.
After that, then it's over. But like right there, I wanted that kind of drawn out personally, where I want to see this fucking man baby stalk her.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like, he's beating on the door and all that, but
Yeah, I like the idea that it's a man baby, or what? What do you think the man baby is? What do you think's even going on here in this apartment, and how
I think
people
it's
haven't caught on to this yet?
2 adults,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really specify if it's for some reason in my head it's 2 men.
Okay.
It's it's not like a couple, it's 2 men who are both, like the police say in this, I guess, pretending to be children.
Yeah.
And like one of them somehow is forcing all these other residents
Yeah.
to be involved in this celebration and holding them hostage. And the other one is just, like it says in the fucking story, it's so fucking weird. It's scary. Grinning, and his teeth are all fucked up and yellow, and his eyes are bloodshot because it's been 5 hours, and he's
Yeah.
like not blinking. He's
Yeah.
like, he, for 5 fucking hours.
Yeah.
And just like getting off on them being fucking terrified of whatever his partner is like standing in the corner.
Yeah.
Or whoever it is. It doesn't specify, but it's like, fuck.
It is creepy.
And they're dressed as children.
Yeah.
A little tiny like belly button showing, a little bit of fucking what's it called, happy trail showing,
A little bit of happy trail.
a little bit
A little bit of midriff.
a little midriff.
A little bit of muffin top action.
He's got a fucking spinny hat. He's got a umbrella hat. I don't know what the fuck it's called. He's got an umbrella hat on. It's like an umbrella,
Yeah.
not the spinny, not the propeller hat.
I know the
Yeah.
kind. Yeah. You think this is a supernatural occurrence going on?
I don't. That's the thing. I think like supernatural stuff scares me a lot more than.
Yeah. You don't like when it's, well, like,
I don't not like it. I just like supernatural stuff a lot, and I like
yeah, I do too.
things that blend in the paranormal and stuff.
Yeah. Not that that other stuff can't scare me. In fact, I think probably the most effective stories I've read, just and movies and anything really, it's just
It is just
things
people.
things rooted in reality, things that can actually happen. Yeah. But when it's done right, I think supernatural, fear of the unknown, entities can be a lot scarier. But you think this is not a case of the
I don't think
supernatural?
this is definitely not supernatural to me.
These just some weird fuckers.
It's just some weird fuckers. Like I'm like imagining this is in New York,
Yeah.
and like she fucking lives in this like old red brick
Yeah.
fucking piece of shit, run down. There's not that many floors. I don't fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like outside the city. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? And so, when you're walking around New York, there's a bunch of fucking crazy people. There's crazy people everywhere. But mainly they like leave you alone. You don't fucking look at them or whatever. But then it's like, I don't know. It gives me the vibe like she fucking lives in this apartment where like she doesn't know everybody. She knows like people live above her and below her and a little bit to the side, but there's a lot of other people.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, what the fuck is going on? Like I kind of, and then all of it, she's not even thinking about it. She just lives there, and then all of a sudden it's like, man, baby. He's just in charge now.
What did it say about the disemboweling and all that? And
Yeah,
I'm pulling up the story on my phone.
Yeah. Well, it just the last quote. It's like, hey, I know you got fucking kids and they're always fucking young. And then it cuts off.
Yeah.
And then the next time you hear from them, they're like being disemboweled.
Yeah.
The police are talking about it. I'm like,
So they
kind of threw me.
Yeah, they refused to tell me what had happened to the elderly couple. They barely mumbled something that included kidnapping, massacre, disembowelment. Some of the victims, which had been many, were hostages made to play along. So there was
Many.
there were many.
That's what I'm saying.
So there was like a big group of people in the apartment.
Yeah. Like she doesn't know everybody. She kind of knows some people above and below and to the side.
Yeah.
It's like a big city.
Yeah.
And she's not thinking about it. It's just like real life. Goes to her job. She comes back at 2. She's like, I'm fucking tired. This is weird. Blah, blah. And then all of a sudden it's just like right the fuck in front of her. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. There were never kids living upstairs. 2 of them were grown-ups, but 2 of them were pretending to be kids. So is this saying the entire floor upstairs was its own kind of
Dude.
like ecosystem? Because I mentioned there was one line.
I just realized something, which
What?
might go into what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, let me go to this first fucking page real quick.
Okay.
Because this is really scary. Okay, along with the other one that belongs to this dude who's rarely home, There's a Mrs. Rogue's place on the ground floor. And then, let's see, then the second floor. 2 other flats. One owned by an elderly couple and the other by this family. I don't really see them often, but they're directly above me. Sometimes I hear the kids in the morning moaning about having to get ready for school and stomping down the stairs.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hear hushed voices and the dishes clattering. After 10 people. So it's like 2 people pretending to be a full family.
Oh. You think? Or is it multiple? Well, they mentioned there's multiple people. Many were hostages, you know. So
Well, some people could have been hostages the whole time.
So you're thinking it's 2 people mainly constructing this whole thing, everyone else involved.
So they've been, this story is way scarier when you restart it and like realize what's going on.
Yeah.
Sometimes I hear the kids in the morning moaning about having to get ready for school and then stomping down the stairs. So so either the 2 people are always pretending to be children and they've had people hostages for a long fucking time, or these 2 people are pretending to be 4 people, mom and dad, and then the 2 kids.
That scares me more than having hostages personally.
And they're walking around the whole fucking apartment, stomping down the stairs.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to fucking school. And you're and then if she just had to go to work and walked out the fucking front door, and there's a grown man in a little tubular t-shirt and little fucking jorts.
Tubular.
And little tiny fucking shoes that are too small. His little toes are sticking out the front, and he's fucking pissed as hell because he's going to school.
He's pissed his pants, too.
And he's pissed his pants, and he's mad.
He's really mad.
He doesn't want to go to school, but he's a grown man.
That's scary.
She's getting her shit fucked.
I don't know if the story's saying this, but I like the idea of... I love the idea of 2 people pretending to be more people.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really cool concept. And,
It's like Split.
Sure.
Is that what
I never watched that.
I haven't seen it either. I'm just like...
Yeah. Well, the guy, he has multiple personality disorder, right?
But he's also Superman or something.
That doesn't scare me much. It's more like 2 normal, well, maybe not fully normal.
Yeah.
Just 2 people, and they're, for whatever reason, be it a sadistic fetish lifestyle or just mentally ill to some capacity, but they decide they want to like live out this fantasy where they're like role playing being a full family of 4 or 5, and there's only 2 of them, and they each have different roles. Like one's the mom, and then the other one, one's the mom and like one of the kids.
Yeah, or like
the other one's the dad and one
daughter.
of the kids. Yeah, it's just like
that makes more sense. Maybe it is like a couple.
Yeah,
and they're like mom and daughter and father and son.
Seems like now we're recontextualizing things and finding out the story's a little more haunting.
Yeah, it has a little, honestly, more depth than I think maybe if I was listening to this being read, I'd pick up on that. But I think reading it with the fire and the smoke and all that, maybe it's one of those you have to come back to, start from the beginning, read it again, and be like, oh, this is actually super fucked up from the get-go.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about it again. It's fucking terrifying.
So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
I actually really like this. I do wish some parts were more fleshed out. For sure.
I think it could have a bit more fat on it.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know if that's what it's going for.
No, I don't think it is. And I get it. And I like it for that.
Yeah.
But I like it enough that I want this to be double the length. Like,
Yeah.
it still wouldn't be that long.
Mm-hmm.
It would be, it would be longer, obviously. Well, fuck yeah, it would be, obviously. But
Yeah.
I'd like to see a few parts fleshed out because they are super interesting.
First line of the story is kind of intriguing me now. I don't usually work on Sundays, but I needed some extra cash, so I took an early shift. Came home at around 2 p.m. What does that mean?
I think it means I think it's just setting, what I think they're doing there is just setting up a time frame. The author needs a reason to say it's 2 p.m. so that later on they can say it's 8 p.m. after they wake up from the nap. And it's like, it's been fucking 5 hours. I just woke up. Oh
feel
my
like
God, they're still going.
The opening line of your whole story being, I don't usually work on Sundays, is kind of interesting. Because, like, what does that mean? Like, you went to work and then they noticed or something and they...
The only thing I can get from this first sentence, 2 sentences. But I needed some extra cash, so she lives in like a shit place, and it's like fucking, she's broke, and it's like a shit place, and she needs.
Now I'm trying to like, since we found a few breadcrumbs in the opening, now I'm like really looking at the opening and being like, oh man.
Yeah, but now I'm like
Listen,
I want to keep going through the whole thing.
It's like we need to read it again.
It is kind of like we need to read it again, and yeah, it's a good little short story.
Yeah,
Definitely fucking terrifying.
I liked it. I think it's one where you can read it twice and get more from it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, that's like the best stuff right there. When you get something new out of it every time. Let's see. Now I'm going back around. There's Mrs. Rogue's place on the ground floor, and then the second floor has 2 other flats. One owned by an elderly couple, and the other by this family I don't really see that often. So the elderly couple
Got fucking
they got
sprayed
yoinked.
against the wall. Yeah.
They got yoinked. Yeah.
There's just mist left. There's nothing. But so that just means one. So Man Baby went in there, tore them apart.
Yeah.
Kidnap. Okay, so here's the thing: kidnap, massacre, and something else. So Man Baby, one of them stayed in there for the kidnapping. Man Baby prowled around the hallway, tore the neighbors apart.
Yeah.
Then came back, winked at her through the peephole, and then jumped out a fucking the second story window and probably fucking died.
So you think he's a hostage then if he killed himself?
No, I think Man Baby. I think he tore those people apart. I don't think he's a hostage. I think there's the 2 people upstairs.
Yeah.
That the police say. So one person's like holding them hostage,
And Man Baby's on the run.
and he's trying to get her
Yeah.
because she stumbled across him. Then the upstairs lady starts yelling. He goes in there. It's a husband and wife. They've been married for 50, 60 years. He
Yeah.
rips them to shreds.
Of course.
Then he comes back downstairs, winks at her through the peephole, says, "I see you," and then jumps out the second, which I just think he gets fucking flattened when he hits the ground. He breaks both his legs, and he's just like,
oh, my
Crow.
ankles. Yeah. My little
They're not developed.
My Man Baby ankles. That's fun.
I like this story, actually.
Yeah.
It's
So
really good.
He jumped. Yeah, so he's definitely alive. Unless he broke his little Man Baby ankles. Where's the third person? Now we're missing
Are we? Because there's only 2 upstairs.
hostages, right?
Well, the hostages, I think it just says there's a bunch of them. So it's like everyone in the whole apartment building. I don't know how many, but it's like obviously it's like probably the downstairs people, and then it's other people that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And then there's some people who are inside. They haven't coerced them into being in their little party because it like happened like right before she got home. I guess they got everybody up there.
Oh, I see. So you think like residents regular people were invited to this party?
Either invited or made to come because they were home.
Yeah.
And then once they got everybody up there,
blew out the candles and
like they started singing happy birthday, she got home.
yeah.
They had already started their fucking hostage situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird play. You know, I feel like that's one thing you can only do that once.
You only get one opportunity.
You get one opportunity in a busy, bustling apartment building, you know, because everyone's going to take notice. HOA's not going to like that. Cool story, though.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. And,
Good short one.
yeah.
Good short one. Good like little read. Just if you're like wanting to read something right before bed and actually finish it.
Yeah.
I'm just looking around. I just like there's a lot of lines in here. It's just
Shopping.
Like, yeah, I'm shopping for it. Like,
What are you seeing now?
not much. It's fucking pitch black out here.
Dude, you have a lantern.
I get
Come on.
glimpses. I think if I could just go back and reread this whole thing, I'd have a lot to say. But I'm really into it. This author's super good. I really enjoy. This is the second thing I read from her, but the first thing that I read, I've read it quite a few times because I really enjoy it. It's actually fucking horrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The I'm blind and I'm not sure how many steps are in my staircase.
Yeah,
Something
like that.
That is a wonderful story as well.
That's really scary.
That one's horrifying.
Yeah.
From the rip. First read, you know. I was a little flustered after this read, all right? still gathering my bearings. Said a few, not negative things, just critical, which still kind of stand. I do wish it was longer, and I think the ending happened a little abruptly. But as we see now, there's a little bit more context leading up to it. When you read it the second time, there's more of a reward.
Definitely, there's a lot of depth in here that you don't recognize immediately.
But yeah, her big story, I guess. Would you say that's like?
I think so.
Basically her biggest story. Yeah.
I think it is, but I'm not actually sure. If she has something bigger, I'm fucking game to read that.
Absolutely.
I'm super excited.
Yes. Definitely want to read more from Emma Watson, but dumber. Let me pull her name up. Her actual name or her other
Helena?
Yeah, Helena. It is Helena Castellan.
That's good shit. I like it.
Very good writer. Yeah.
We'll plug all of her stuff.
Yeah, everything will be in the description, of course. And yeah, I'm running out of things to say.
I'm running out of things. Yeah.
It's our first time. We're nervous. We're
Definitely.
scared. Yeah, this was a fun one. Maybe one day we will revisit it. Since this was our first episode ever.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry we chose this one to be our first EmmaWatsonButDumber. But we greatly appreciate you letting us read this, and we had a good time. Nevertheless, really good story, and quick, concise, but a lot to chew on once you look at it again. Some of my favorite stories are like that.
Yeah.
And obviously we've been ranting and raving about the I'm Blind one. That's a great one too. I think that one's just so good because it's a very unique perspective. It's a blind person who's writing.
Yeah. And
you
is
get-
being just fucking tormented
It's
and
very-
can't tell
Yeah,
for a while.
It's very unique.
I'd go read that.
very unique perspective that you don't see much, especially in the creepypasta no sleep realm.
Yeah.
So very inventive writer, I would say, and I enjoyed it. Good stuff. Anything else from you?
No, I don't think so. I really enjoyed it. And tune into the next one.
Yeah, we'll
Only
be back.
Only go up.
Yes, we should be releasing these every other Thursday.
Hopefully.
I think is the current upload schedule.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little wonky. I'm about to get my wisdom teeth ripped out of my head, and I'll be a little man baby myself.
And we'll record a full episode with you on
Yes.
Oxys.
I'll be clean shaven and all the gross shit on Oxys,
They're going to
hopefully.
shave me bald.
Oh, God. Yeah, so that's going to be throw a little wrench and everything. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stories lined up.
Yeah, seriously.
We're very excited for this. We're getting our sea legs. Stick around. It'll get bigger and better. Less smoke from the fire, hopefully. And we thank you for making it this far, if you did. We love you.
Good night.
We love you so much. I'd slept until around 8 p.m., and the sun was peeking at me from behind some buildings. A sunset that was more blue than red. There's a dog on the set.
Oh, Buster.
Oh, man.
How you doing, buddy?
Oh, my goodness.
That scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah, that was...
There's just a man looking at me.
There's a dog.
It's a whole man. And he likes to
Scary.
spin around, huh?
He's doing spins. My goodness.